Good morning, you guys. My name is Amanda Noddings, and I am co-leading this coach sneak peek this week along with other coaches on Team Driven. And I'm excited today to get to know you a little better. And I figured the best thing we can do to start off is to share with you a little bit of my story as a coach and what coaching means to me, how I got into it, what it's looked like in my life, and just really a little bit about where I started. So, over 5 years ago, I was 4 weeks postpartum with my son, my rainbow baby Elijah. I had been through a really tough few years. We had lost my husband's father to 3 different types of cancer. So that had been quite a hit on our early years of our marriage. And then we lost a baby, my son Michael. And that was pretty devastating to me. It was incredibly difficult. If I didn't have my daughter that I already have, Olivia, I don't know if I would still be here, because the pain and the overwhelm and the depression that followed that event was life-altering for me. I really can't tell you how isolating it was. To have something, to go through something where you feel like nobody else knows about it, and nobody else can identify with it, nobody understands what you're going through. You want to push everyone away even though you don't want to be alone. I was angry at God. I was angry at my husband. I was angry at myself most of all. And I was in a pretty deep state of depression. So I had decided that I was going to do something about it at some point. My little daughter, Olivia, she got right up in my face like only kids can do, and she put her hands on both my cheeks and she looked me right in the eyes and she said, "Are you happy, Mommy?" And I was just crushed because I really wasn't happy at all. And that was a turning point in my life. I had always wanted to be a mom, and I had always said I was never going to lie to my kids. I wanted to raise them, tell them the truth all the time, and I didn't want to lie to her, but I know little kids, they assume everybody's happy. They think everybody's happy all the time. I mean, the world is unicorn farts and rainbows and happiness, and she was 2.5, and she should think her mom was happy, and she didn't. And so I told her, I said, I'm not happy, but I'm going to change that. I'm going to work on that. So from that day on, I started looking at my life, and I was so unhappy. I was so overweight. I was over 260 pounds. I was tired. I was 265, and I was tired, and everything hurt every day, and I had to get out of bed. I could barely get out of bed in the morning. And I just felt like stuck. I felt stuck where I was. I felt stuck in this body that didn't want to do the things I wanted it to do. I would get tired just playing with my daughter. When we would play outside, I would be huffing and puffing, even if I would barely be doing anything. I remember huffing and puffing, playing sidewalk chalk with her. And eventually I sat back in the chair and was like, "Go ahead and play, honey. Mommy can watch you from here," with a cocktail and a cigarette. It was a different time in my life, for sure. But when I decided to change it, I started thinking about what I could do, because all these things in my life were happening and I had no control over them. With my father-in-law dying and them losing our son, and just being like, we had not enough money for bills, and stress all the time, and my marriage was falling apart, and everything felt like I couldn't do anything about it. But the one thing I felt like I could have some control over was my body and how depressed I was of not fitting in any clothes. Every time I had to go to the store was like digging through the same piles and piles of clothes to find one thing that fit, and ending up wearing something that barely fit at all, and being uncomfortable and hoping I didn't run into anyone I knew, which is hard because I live in the same town I grew up in. And I feel like if you go anywhere, you see someone you know, especially if you look like crap. You know what I'm talking about? If you look good, you won't run into anyone. So it was just a constant battle with feeling bad. And I decided that the thing I wanted to do to try and feel better was to maybe take charge of my body a little bit. So there had been a girl in my work who had been doing Insanity, and she looked amazing. And I had seen that infomercial on Bartender's Television, I used to call it, because I worked in the bartending and food hospitality for years. And then I worked in hospitality and healthcare all night and did both. So you would see, you're always off on these off hours, you would see infomercials. And I must have seen the Insanity infomercial hundreds of times. And I just would remember getting so mad at the people in the infomercial, like, oh, your before photos look better than my afters would, you know? And like, why do you even call it a before? She had like a flat stomach, and then, ooh, she got a six pack by the end, you know? It's like, ooh, you know? But somewhere in listening to Shanti talk to the TV and tell you you could do this, I started to believe it. So fast forward down the road, after having my son Elijah, I kind of skipped that part, but I decided to do something about it, and immediately found out I was pregnant with my son Elijah. Well, there's, of course, you want to get in shape, you're going to get to work out, you're going to do one workout and find out you're pregnant. So, biggest blessing of my life, and happiest moment for sure, but it was a pregnancy full of hidden anxiety, and anxiety became a really big problem for me after that. The birth didn't go well because I was so anxious. Even though I thought I was doing well, I was hiding that and burying that inside me all that time. Even though I thought, the whole pregnancy, I told myself, this is a different baby, this is a different pregnancy, things will be different. You're not going to have to give birth to a child that isn't alive. Apparently, that was my biggest fear the entire time, because the birth was very difficult. And that was something that I kept repeating over and over again in the hospital until I hyperventilated myself into unconsciousness. Is it alive? Is it alive? Is it alive? It was the saddest time of my life. And it should have been joyful. But having lost a child, there's nothing like that. So I decided that I needed to do something to take charge of my life a little bit. And I had this little baby, and I decided to borrow those DVDs from my friend, and I decided to start doing that workout. And I started the fit test, and I almost died. I was on the floor hyperventilating. I couldn't even, and this was just the fit test. It wasn't even the workout. I was lying there like, I'm going to die right here on my living room floor. They're going to find me, and the baby's going to be eating me like a cat. Because I was so convinced. It was so hard. I was so big. I couldn't do anything they were doing even in the fit test. I had to modify the moves from the fit test. But you know what? For some reason, the next day I surprised even myself, and I showed up and I pushed play. And I did workout number 2, or workout number 1, and number 2, and number 3. And it wasn't perfect. And I didn't really know, we don't have the amazing nutrition plan that we have today where everything's portioned out. So I was kind of winging it. And I was just trying to make better food choices and do my best. And ultimately, I ended up losing 35 pounds and finishing Insanity. And that was a life-changing moment for me. For sure. When you don't think that you can do much of anything, when you feel like your life is spinning around and you don't have much control over it, and you manage to complete this insanely hard workout, it's just life-altering. It's like slow and steady, you know, chug, 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 like the little engine that could, I would show up. And eventually those things that I had to modify became just modify, and then just modify. And now, I'm 38 years old. I still modify different moves, and that's okay. So after I finished Insanity, I moved on to T25, another Shanti workout. This one is what I asked my mom for Christmas, and she ordered it for me off the dreaded Amazon. And I got that workout, and I was back to work now full time. Baby was about 4.5 months old. And I was like, maybe 5.5 months old. And I was like, okay, I needed to work out less. Can it really work in 25 minutes a day? I don't know, but I can't give it the full time of the harder workout that Insanity was. Plus, God, who am I kidding? It was hard, and I finished it once. Isn't that enough? So, excuse me, I did T25. And I was talking to my coach, who was just some random woman I had been assigned to. And she reached out to me, and she sent me an email, and I ignored it. And then she reached out again a couple weeks later, just checking in, seeing if I needed anything, and I ignored it. And then finally I just said, well, I don't know who this woman is, but I was like, well, maybe she can help me figure out like a food plan. So I said something to her, and she sent me a sample menu, a sample meal plan to try. And I had avoided talking to her because I was like, oh, she just wants to sell me those shakes, and she wants to sell me something. That's the only reason she's talking to me. I don't know her. I don't need her. And it just makes me laugh because now she's one of my dearest friends, which is just crazy. The universe is crazy, you guys. So she sent me this meal plan, and there was Shakeology once a day on the menu. And I was like, well, I don't have a Shakeology. I drink these protein shakes from Costco. They are amazing. They're 20 grams of protein. They're 0 carbs. And instead of lecturing me and telling me that I had to use this special superfood shake that she liked to work with her, she just offered to help me anyway. And she said, that's okay. Anywhere you see Shakeology on the menu, just substitute it with like 150 calorie small snack or your equivalent protein shake, whatever you're using. And I was like, okay, fine. So she proved me wrong. And I started doing that T25. And by the time I finished it, I lost another 25 pounds. And meanwhile, I had been sharing this a little bit on social media, and I posted a picture after my first Insanity workout and said I was going to do it. And can I tell you something, guys? I got not one like and not one comment on that picture, even though it was gut-wrenching to post. And the day I finished, I posted my before and after for Insanity, side by side. And I think I said, this took all the balls in the world I have to post. But I was so proud, and I wanted to share it with people. And don't think that I had some massive social media. Maybe I would consider myself to have a bigger social media now, but that's just been the process of slowly building over the last 5 years while I share my story and people get to know me better, and I build new relationships as I look for more people to help. So in any case, I finished that Insanity, 35 pounds, T25, 25 pounds, lost 60 pounds total, and of 60 pounds, you guys, between October and like March. It was mind-blowing. And people were asking me, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And I was like, oh, I'm doing these workouts, and I'm doing this workout at home thing. I don't have time to go to a gym. Oh, who's your trainer? I'm like, Shanti. And I have a coach who helps me. Oh, I can't afford a coach. I'm like, she's free. She came with my program. I don't know her. And they'd be like, okay, well, I want to do what you're doing. Where can I get it? And I was like, I think you can get it through me. And so I had purchased a challenge pack to get started as a discount coach because I decided that if I was going to do this, I wanted to try and see how I felt if I did it all in, right? I wanted to try to drink the Kool-Aid because I had been watching people in my challenge group I was in with my coach, and they were drinking it every day, and they were loving it, and they were getting great results. And I thought, why am I so stubborn not to try it? Oh, because it's so damn expensive. But see, over the course of this journey, I had started learning about what really mattered in nutrition, the ingredients, the things you're taking into your body. I was also paying for prescription vitamins. So I wasn't spending, and I was paying to feel like crap. Every doctor's appointment, everything, going to the chiropractor for my back. These things, like, they add up. And I'm not saying Shakeology cured me from the chiropractor, so don't go saying I said that. But the extra weight I lost helped my back to get a lot better. I have scoliosis, so I will always be taking care of my back, either through chiropractic or massage or something. Currently, I use massage because I don't feel like I need to go to the chiropractor anymore. But anyway, So my coach, I reached out to her and said, hey, like, listen, I'm going to buy this challenge pack as a discount coach, and she helped me out. Well, then when someone said they wanted to sign up with me, I was like, well, okay. So I don't really know how to do that. So I sent my coach a message and she didn't answer. And she had always been so attentive, and all of a sudden she didn't answer. Well, it turns out she was on the Success Club trip. So if you followed me for any amount of time, you've seen that I have gone on these trips the last 5 years to amazing places like Mexico. I went to Belize. I went to Honduras. I went to Dominican Republic, Bahamas, Haiti. Just insane. It's insane. I'm just a girl from Spokane who had never been anywhere. I mean, our family vacations, I loved them growing up, but they were camping at Priest Lake and summer camp at Coeur d'Alene, my campfire camp. And that was the extent of my traveling life, period. So I had big dreams to travel when I was younger, and I don't know what happened to those. I think I got to a certain age and I was just starting my family, and I realized my 20s were gone, and that was probably my traveling years, and they were gone. And I just kind of thought, now traveling will have to wait till after I raise kids. And hopefully then I'll be able to afford it, because right now I can barely afford diapers. Yeah, it was a different time. And anyway, she was on a cruise, my coach. Her name is Tanya. And she was on a Disney cruise with her whole family for Beachbody, which was amazing. So that was the first glimpse I saw of that and what it could really do for you. Like, if I could just earn a trip from this, maybe I want to give this a go. And then, this person from high school reached out and wanted my help. I thought, oh God, what if I could help her feel better? Like, so I sat down with my husband. I said, I think I actually want to do this coaching thing. His name is Daryl. And I remember sitting on the patio with him, talking to him. And he just looked at me like, okay, whatever. And I'm like, so I need to buy this challenge pack because I need to have the Shakeology, and I need to sign up as a coach, and I want to try this like all the way. And I was crying. I was like, I'm not done. I need to keep working on myself. And I feel like this is the way for me. I feel like I could do this. I feel like I want to go all in. And I cried. And long story short, he said it was okay. Not that I need his permission, but in our marriage, we try to make decisions together, and I feel better if he is on board before I do something. So he let me put it on a credit card that I couldn't afford and order my challenge pack. And then within like 3 days, I sat him down again and I was like, so I think I really want to do this coaching thing. And he was like, what? And I'm like, so if I'm going to do that, I want to sign you up as a coach too. He's like, I don't need to lose weight. I'm not. And I'm like, I know, but if you're going to I watch these videos on YouTube, and they said if I'm going to do it, I should sign my spouse up. And so I need to order one more package, and I want it under your name. And I'm going to try and help some people. And so he was like, I was watching YouTube videos since my coach wasn't around to kind of try and teach me what to do. And so I signed him up, and then I signed her up, the girl from high school, and all of a sudden I was Emerald. And Emerald is the first rank advancement you can have as a coach. And all I had to do was, get my husband on board and then sign up my friend. And, she just said, how do I get it? And I was like, here's where you get it. And I'm like, I'm going to help you. I'm going to run a challenge group, just like I've been in, and I'm going to help as many people as I can. And, we're all going to do T25 together. And I was so excited for it. And I still have that feeling now. And it's been 5 years. I have a group starting soon. We're doing Lift 4. And I can't wait to get some new people on board to learn how strong they are and to help them feel better and have that energy every day. And I told Daryl that day when I was crying, I said, if I can help one person not feel the way I used to feel, then this will all be worth it. And he's like, I had a small goal. I wanted to pay for my Shakeology so that challenge pack didn't cost me anything. Didn't kind of like, my family didn't take the hit, for me trying this thing. So that was my small goal financially, was to try and earn back the cost of my challenge pack in the first couple months. I put a date on my calendar to cancel the Shakeology because I didn't really believe it was going to be amazing or life-changing or whatever. and I want to make sure I didn't miss it. I set a couple reminders on my phone. And then I signed Daryl up, I signed my friend up, and I was Emerald. And my coach came back to town, and she sent me a message, and she said, holy crap, girl, what happened while I was gone? You're a Success Club like 6, and you're Emerald. And I was like, I had questions, and you weren't around, so I started Googling it, and YouTubing it, trying to figure out what are your first goals as a coach, and how do you do it? So I really took initiative and was like kind of a self-starter out of desperation, because I didn't want to not earn that money back. Well, in the meantime, I'd started drinking Shakeology because my stuff had come. And it took me like, I'd say 4 or 5 days. And I started noticing that, so I was working swing shift at the time. And every day at 3 o'clock, I would have to go to work. And at like 2 o'clock, my energy would just kind of be like, I would be getting Olivia and Elijah down for their naps. And I would just be like, oh my God, it's time for my nap. All I wanted to do was lay down, and it was time for me to go to work. As soon as I got them laying down, I was supposed to pack my food and go to work. And I was so tired. Well, about the 4th or 5th day, I noticed that I wasn't hitting that wall anymore. You know, this is the same wall that makes people go by the gas station, and every time they stop, they buy these little bottles of 5-hour energy drinks, a caffeine liquid in a bottle. I saw like little miniature coffee shots with 100 times the amount of caffeine the other day in a little mini latte cup. It was cute. But as a coffee lover, it was cute. But not anything I want to put in my body. So anyway, that was the first thing for me, was I noticed that. And then the other thing I noticed was, instead of going to the bathroom, either not at all during the day or a couple times a day, I know kids, but I work in healthcare and everybody poops. I noticed that I started having these like regular bowel movements every day. Things were not like, there was no constipation, it took a little while to get used to, Shakeology farts. It took me a while because it's full of live probiotics. And so my stomach took a little while for it to get all situated. And then after about 2 weeks, I'd say I just noticed I was going to the bathroom regularly, once a day, every day, done. And I just felt like much better. Things started working better in my body, and I just was sold. I was like, I feel good. I feel so good. So then I was able to share with people how much that had helped me. And that's really where I am now. Every day I just share what I'm doing that has worked for me and worked for countless people that I have worked with over the last few years. I've grown in my confidence as a leader, as someone who uses these products and is excited to share them with others, just by continuing on this journey of coaching. You know, we train together as a team, but we also get a lot of our training just from participating in the challenge groups and really getting focused on what we do as mentors and leaders. I started helping other people on my team grow their own teams, because I want people to have the success that I have had. 5 years later, I'm here in the living room of this house. We lived in a box that we rented, and every time I was scraping together pennies to pay the man, I would think, why am I throwing this money in the garbage? I could be putting this towards my own house that I would own. But we didn't qualify for any loans because we couldn't even qualify for a department store credit card, guys. Every time I'd buy something at like Macy's or something, they would say, oh, you save 40% if you sign up for the card today, or Old Navy, or Victoria's Secret, or wherever I was spending money that had a department store card. And I would always be like, fine, you can run it, but I won't get approved. And they'd say, no, this is a department store card. Everybody gets approved, girl. And they would run it, and then they'd be like, oh, sorry. Yeah, you weren't approved. And it would be like this, like, wah, wah, wah. I just felt like crap about myself all the time. And I was so tired of it. And I took those little Beachbody checks that I made, and disclaimer, Beachbody doesn't guarantee any level of income or success. It all varies based on every coach's diligence and skill. But I was diligent. The name of my team is Team Driven because I feel driven to help other people, to serve them, to help empower them, to help them know their strength, to help them dig their way out of depression if they have it, or anxiety, to find tools that help them become a better person, to work on their mental health and fitness, because that's been a huge part of my journey, you know, working this muscle, not just these muscles. It's so much more than a six-pack, you guys. And I don't think there's any better accountability to make sure you show up every day than by being a coach. I can't ever go in my challenge group in the morning and check in and say, here I am and I did it and now you should do it too, if I'm sitting on the couch eating bonbons. It's not going to happen. I will never show up in my group and tell them to do something that I wouldn't do. And that's where coaching has become this huge level of accountability. Good morning. So I just think that was the biggest gift to me that I didn't even know was a gift when I started. I just thought, you know, I'll save 25% on my Shakeology if I decide to keep this crap. I will get the discount. But the nice thing about being a coach or a discount coach, it's really just a VIP membership. You have no obligation to ever do anything. And I fully intended not to do anything with it. I just thought I would keep this discount coach membership if I like the Shakeology, but I put it on my calendar to quit. If I hadn't have done Shakeology every day, because I am so OCD, if I hadn't have crossed off that workout and drank my Shakeology every single day for those first 2 weeks, I wouldn't be sitting right here now, because I would have never known what it did for me consistently every day. Drink the Shakeology, do my workout, and check in the challenge group. Those 3 things were crucial to changing my life. And then you turn around, you start paying that forward to others. That the messages I get, like today, just today, one of my gals messaged me. She's in my Ultimate Portion Fix group. She is on 2 weeks of doing, we're just starting week 2. Yesterday, Monday, today, whatever day that is week 2. But she started the containers a week before. So she's 2 weeks into the food and she lost 9 pounds. And she said it was so hard watching those numbers creep up, because she's watching them creep up, but she's trying to have the faith in what I'm telling her. And she stuck it out, and guess what happened? She moved forward. That's your body going, what's going on right now? All of these things are things I've learned throughout the journey. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a personal trainer. I wasn't born with this knowledge. I've done more studying probably than most nurses now on nutrition and different diet plans, different meal plans, how the body works. I see the draws of things like keto diet or just different fad diets. A fad diet is something that you try and you experience great results from, and then they're gone or it doesn't work anymore and all the weight comes back. This isn't a fad diet. It's a lifestyle change. I look at Shakeology as my once a day, every day, no matter what. If you ever watch my stories on social media, you'll see that. My once a day, every day, no matter what, because that's my multivitamin, my health insurance, my whatever. So yeah, I drank the Kool-Aid, but I did it in the most skeptical way, and it proved to be so beneficial for me. And if I had listened to those doubts in the first couple days, I wouldn't be using it, and I wouldn't be sitting here now. If I had quit when I started Insanity because I was too big to do any of those moves, I wouldn't be here now. If I ignored my coach when she emailed me and reached out and said, hey, do you want to join this coach group? Hey, I think you'd make a great coach. You're so encouraging to everyone in the group. I didn't even answer her. I ignored her. I made fun of her to my husband. I made fun of her a lot to my husband. This lady is stalking me. She's sending me messages. I'm not going to buy her stupid shit. That's the only reason she wants to talk to me. I made several choices along the way that have affected where I am now. From starting in a place of pure skepticism and morbid obesity at 260 pounds to being here now. I'm not perfect. My body still fluctuates. Your weight loss or fitness journey isn't a steady, linear thing. It goes like this. It goes like this. I've done bikini competitions where I am way leaner, and I've done bulking and building like I am right now where I'm a little more buff, and I've done cardio workouts where I'm shredded out and I do Shaun T and I have the best abs of my life. I did P90X with Tony Horton and my back was incredible. My back and my arms, I was doing pull-ups, corn cob pull-ups, and then back down. I can't believe I could do those things. Every little thing like that, every little victory like that builds you up from the inside and makes you feel like an amazing new person that is capable of so many things. And that is what this has given to me. And I just have a fire for it. And so not only did I start taking those little Beachbody checks every week and paying off these little debts, all these little things that I found out when we got married, Daryl, little bills coming out of the woodwork, little things that were just something from his 20s he didn't pay and he let go to collections, an old cell phone of mine from when I was, some parking tickets I had that I had gotten, or not parking, insurance tickets I had. I didn't have insurance when I was in college. My insurance ran out and I couldn't stop going to school. So I drove to school and the same freaking cop pulled me over every day for like a week and gave me a $300 insurance ticket. So yeah, I had to pay that off. So these little things are what I started using my weekly like Beachbody money for, like $40 here, $100 there, $150 there. Excuse me. And I just started whittling away at that debt. And then after a year, I realized that what I was making at coaching had passed my income that I was making at the hospital. And granted, at the hospital I had benefits, but are you kidding me? I was taking home as much as I was making at the hospital, working full time, night shift. Like, that blew my mind. And I started to see what was possible and believe what was possible, and I want that for other people. Whether your goal is just to pay for your Shakeology, whether your goal is just to help, like mine was in the beginning, to help one person not feel the way that I used to feel. Or if your goal is to like try and earn your way on one of these trips, that became my next goal. And I hit that goal the first year. And I remember how my first goal was to start paying out, was to pay for my Shakeology so it wouldn't cost us anything. And that was my goal. It was my 3-month goal. I did it in a week. I got 3 friends to join my first challenge group, and it paid for my entire challenge back, what I made, and then some. So as my team grows and I start seeing them have these little wins and I start seeing them have these little successes, that is like so fulfilling in my little mommy heart. I want to help as many people as possible, and I want to see the people on my team achieve their goals and have these successes. And that is what coaching has meant to me. It's more than just this house. It's more than the fact that we're in less debt, although we're in more debt because now this house. But all the little debt is gone. It's more than just getting in shape or losing a few pounds. It's community. It's people who lift you up. When my marriage was struggling, I was not able to talk about it on social media because of respect for my husband and our relationship. But you know what? I was able to talk about it in my challenge group. I was able to go in there and have a place where I could say, hey, I am really struggling right now, and I can't talk about this anywhere else, and can I please talk to you guys? And they lifted me up. They stood behind me. The coaches on my team had my back. My own coach called me and mentored me and talked me through some really difficult times. And when you look back on your life and you look at the people who have your back truly and are standing by you, this team is dollars. That's something I can't go out and find other places. So I know this was long. I hope you made it all the way through, but this is what coaching has meant to my life. This is what this has done for me as a person. It's just all the things. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. I hope if you have any questions at all, you post them below. I want to answer them. I want to share them with you. I want to make sure that you have every possible question answered so that you can make a decision if joining this team is right for you. Okay? You can read the description, the text that goes with this video. It will give you all the information you need. If you need to reach out to me, if you want to fill out an application to join the team, if you're gung-ho and ready to go, maybe you're just ready to take a chance on yourself, I hope you'll do it with me. All right. I look forward to sharing the rest of the week with you guys. I love you, and thanks for sticking with me and bearing with this long, rambling story. I hope you know a little bit more about me now, and I think I made it through without crying too much. So that's a big, proud moment for me. Have a great day, guys. Love ya. Bye.